we are not going to stay in a place or anywhere that is not meeting our standards. Hey loves, it is Marche and I am back here with Shay Say. So we are entering into the month of May, and as you all know, I have been posting how I'm doing a new thing with Shay Say, right? So I am breaking it down into seasons. So this is officially season 1. And with season 1, I'm going to do different series and like segments and everything. I had to just dip my head, not dip my head. I had to tuck my head, refocus, get a game plan going, and really start being more like Marche. I've always been me, but really saying, okay, you know what? I made Shay Say to share my story and my life's journeys with those whoever my story connects with. That's why I created it, right? I feel like sometimes we just all need that person. It's like, okay, I relate to her or him. So with that comes vulnerability and transparency, and that wasn't something I was really comfortable like with doing, but now, like, well, you don't know, I went through therapy and counseling, which there will be more to come regarding that. But this month, the month of May, it is Mother's Day, and I want to give honor to all of those who are mothers, who have mothers or mother figures in their lives. And also, if you have not yet, subscribe to Shay Say to stay updated on new episodes. And also follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I am active on both. And also, the blog is coming back. I'm so excited. You just got to stay tuned. Like, it's so many new things coming. So starting out the series, I am going to talk about important life lessons that the women in my life have taught me. So once again, if you see me looking down, it's because your girl took some notes. So first starting out, of course, the first woman in my life that is important is my mother. They all have just instilled seeds in me of things of like how to just navigate life, like what to accept, what not to accept. So let's go into the first point. They have all taught me how to speak up for myself, especially my aunt. So growing up, I was a very, very shy and timid child, really anxious. I remember, like, quick little story time. My auntie did home daycare, and for some reason, I don't know what was happening, because when I was like 3 and 4, but there was another little girl, and we used to just fight like all the time. But it was like she would, I don't want to say bully, but I would just use that word, I guess. She would kind of like bully me. So like it was, like those little lazy, comfortable chairs and stuff. We both would fight over that, or like she would push me or something, or like not really take a toy, but she would do, it was like just little petty kid stuff. And instead of me, like, I wasn't that kid that aggressed back, so I would just stand there and cry, because I always have been like, kind of, what's the word, like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Now that I'm older, like, I definitely, because I had to learn how to develop a backbone. So now that I'm older, I'm grown, like, I speak up for myself, and I'm not gonna just let you like put your hands on me or nothing like that. Like, if I gotta protect myself, I will. But as a child, I didn't know how to do that. Like, I was very, very nice, always looking out for other people, but it was just like, speak up for yourself. Even if it's that saying I always said, like, the first time you do it, it will feel, especially like if you're not used to doing it, it will feel scary. Even if your voice is shaky, if you say with a soft voice, it's the fact that you're standing up for yourself. This life can be hard and tough, and if people think or know they can run over you, they will. Even now, like when I'm out and about, if like I go to Starbucks, right? And sometimes they'll put too much creamer or something in my coffee. In the past, I would just take it, but it's like, no, I don't. I didn't ask for that. It's not to my liking. I'll go back like, hey, can you please remake this? I said like light creamer. It's way more cream in here. They do it. Pick your battles too, though. Like sometimes you gotta know how to pick your battles, but always, always speak up for yourself. Going into the second point is always having your finances in order. So I am extremely grateful and blessed to have a mother who knew how to manage and budget her money. Like we weren't rich by far growing up. We weren't poor either. I never like had to deal with our lights or our heat or our water being like turned off due to my mom mismanaging her money. There was always food on the table. We definitely had times where life got rocky and hard, but my mom, she always sufficed. She always made it happen. I always had shelter. I'm saying a lot, sorry y'all. But I always had shelter over my head. Every need that my needs were taken care of. Now my wants, they had to wait, because that goes back to budgeting and managing your money. She just always shared, she always would share even her finances with me, like, hey, this is where we're at right now. Now, as I've started to make my own money, I have definitely had my mishaps with money. I'm just now finally learning how to manage my money. Some people, they just know how to do it outright, but for me, it's definitely been a process. That is another journey that I am going to go more in depth with as well. But even like a situation, so my cousin, she also taught me how to help me just manage my money. So you never know what can happen in life, right? Like I had it numerous times with my car where my battery had died. I caught a flat tire, got into a car accident, and during those moments my finances weren't in order. So I had to kind of when my battery died, I had to wait 3 days. I had to wait 3 days for me to wait for my paycheck to get a new battery. And I was stuck in a house. No, you should not want to or have to live life like that. So it's definitely good to budget and manage your money and keep track of your expenses and cut out what you really don't need. I also come from a primarily faith-based Christian family. And for me, as I've gotten older, I chose to stay a Christian. I've had that discussion before, well, you were a child and that was thrown upon you. But for me, I personally got to know God for myself and developed that relationship. That's what this picture is back here. God is within her. She will not fall or fail. I'll insert the scripture right there. But I come from a heavily faith-based family, and that is what keeps me going on my bad days, the days where I feel like giving up, where I feel like life is just hitting me hard. I come from a family of women who we know how to pray. We know who our source comes from. We know that, like I just said, if life is hitting you, sometimes life has you in a chokehold. Life can have you in a full-blown chokehold. And yes, I cry, but I know to fall on my face and just talk to God. Or even sometimes I might not have the words, my cries or my prayers, but I have faith and I know that God is there with me. The fourth point is support. They all the women in my life are very, very supportive to me, and I also see them be supportive to their friends and also co-workers as well. Even like with every venture that I personally embark on, my mother has always been supportive. I always said nobody in my family they've never told me that I can't do anything. In fact, they have pushed me forward. They have always told me like, hey, I see you're not doing this. Like, they're pushing consistency upon me. But even like, if I have an issue, and this is like, I'm using myself because it's personal, but if like there's an issue, even with their friends, I have seen them go out of their way to help others, to uplift others as well. And with support it also segues into that, like giving and serving others without having like a ulterior motive or what can you do for me. I have seen my aunt serve in the church and numerous ministries, making sure that, you know, like she was over the children's ministry where everybody could be involved. I have seen my mother serve, even with like her helping my great uncle. You know, when you're serving others, you're sacrificing your own personal time. Even my cousins, they have done it numerous times. There's so many examples like that I could list. And then last and finally, knowing your worth and value. Every single woman in my life knows her worth and her value. It goes back to like that speaking up for yourself, but also not settling for anything. One thing about us is that we are not going to stay in a place or anywhere that is not meeting our standards. And we will tell you in a heartbeat with no issue, like, this does not meet my standards. So either you get it together, or sometimes it might not even be that warning. It's just, I am up and leaving. Even from my mom, like, she has instilled that in me so much. And I just seen that from my own personal like upbringing. So I hope you all have gathered a few things from this video. If it was over the place, I'm sorry. But I really do, even from this channel, I hope that I have instilled or planted like a small seed somewhere. That's the whole purpose. I'm not just on here to talk. And once again, if you have not subscribe to Shay Say at YouTube, and also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and stay tuned for next week's video. I am going to go more in depth within this Mother's Day series.